Shalom. I would like to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. I would also like to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for passing down this truth. And I would also like to send a sincere salutation out there to the elect, preaching this word in truth and sincerity. Now, in this lesson, it's going to be a quick lesson. It's just something that hit me in the spirit. I'm going to title this lesson, We Have to Finish the Job. Because in order to receive the inheritance of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, the heaven and the earth, our spiritual body, our new bodies, our spiritual bodies, our spiritual power, land, riches, all the things that's promised to us if we, us being the elect, starting with the elect, but the 12 tribes of Israel, we have to complete the mission. We're on, this is a job that we have to do, that we're on right now, So I'm going to start it off with Luke 14 and 27. Luke 14 and 27. And it says, and whosoever, actually, let's get it in the NLT. Luke 14 and 27 in the NLT. It says, and if you do not carry your own cross and follow me, you cannot be my disciple. But don't begin until you count the cost. For who would begin construction of a building without first calculating the cost to see if there is enough money to finish it? And you see, and this is like talking spiritually, your measure of faith. You see, because you have people that are coming to this ministry and they'll stick around for say a month or years, however long, but then they fall out. So it don't really matter how long you've been in this thing, how much work you put in. If you fall out, it's all void. It doesn't matter. Imagine you was out there on the highways and the byways, prophesying the word of the Lord, putting up curses on Babylon, chastising the 2/3 out there, telling them how they not right and how they need to get right. And then you just fall out and you're back in the world with them. The Lord is going to fuck you up. All that judgment you put out in the world is going to come right back on you. 29th verse. It says, otherwise you might complete only the foundation before running out of money. And then everyone would laugh at you. They would say, there's the person who started that building and couldn't afford to finish it. You see, you was talking all that shit. And then you know how when you first come into this ministry, or how fervent you are, and you want to tell everybody about the 12 tribes of Israel, your family, your friends, but they just put it off. But then you stick with it, and then now you fall out the truth and you back in the world with them. You're gonna look like a fool. Let's go to 1 Timothy 6 and 10. Let's go back to the King James. This is 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. It says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. But thou, O man of the Most High, flee these things, and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, meekness. Fight the good fight of faith. You see, because this is a fight. This isn't something that you just, happens right away. This is a marathon. This isn't a race. It says, lay hold on eternal life, whereunto thou art also called, and hast professed a good profession before many witnesses. See? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 4. This is one of my favorite scriptures. Let's get it in the N. Let's read it in the NLT as well. But let me first read it in the King James. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 4. It says, when thou vowest a vow unto the Most High, defer not to pay it. For he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. Neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. Wherefore should the Most High be angry at thy voice, and destroy the work of thine hands? For in the multitude of dreams and many words there are also diverse vanities, but fear thou the Most High. See? Let's get into NLT, make it plainer. This is Ecclesiastes 5 and 4 in the NLT. It says, when you make a promise to God, don't delay in following through. For God takes no pleasure in fools. Keep all the promises you make to him. It is better to say nothing than to make a promise and not keep it. Don't let your mouth make you sin, and don't defend yourself by telling the temple messenger that the promise you made was a mistake. That would make God angry, and he might wipe out everything you have achieved. Talk is cheap, like daydreams and other useless activities. Fear God instead. You see? Because it's a scary thought, like when you just come into the ministry and you've been dealing so many years and then you just fall out. That has to be nothing but the Lord just discarding you, just letting you know you're not one of his. That's a scary thought. Like even now, like, and I know I can speak for the brothers out there and the sisters, the sincere sisters, no matter how much hell we catch here in this world, we could always still lean on, at least we got the truth, At least we got Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. So we know everything is going to be all right. We don't really worry like somebody who wouldn't have this faith would worry. They'll be fucking, having heart attacks. All the hell that they would catch and they don't know why. Stressed out, blood pressure all up. At least us, the hell we catch, we know why we catch it. And at least we got Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to get us through it. So I couldn't even imagine giving up the faith. Like, that's not even a thought I want to entertain. Now let's go to Luke. Stay here in the NLT. 12 and 47. It says, and a servant who knows what the master wants, but isn't prepared and doesn't carry out those instructions will be severely punished. You see, when you come into this faith and, through the right leadership, you know exactly what we're sent out to do. You know the mission, the task that we was put on. It says, but someone who does not know and then does something wrong will be punished only lightly. You see, because it's one thing to do something, do something wrong and you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. But when you have, the knowledge and the wisdom was given to you to know right from wrong, and you still do wrong anyway, you're going to suffer even more for it. It says, but someone who does not know and then does something wrong will be punished only lightly. When someone has been given much, much will be required in return. And when someone has been entrusted with much, even more will be required. Okay. Let's go to John 4 and 34. Go back to the King James. This is John chapter 4, verse 34. It says, Yahweh Shai saith unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me, and to finish his work. Again, we got to finish the job. It don't matter how long you toiled in the faith. If you fall out, all your works will just be null and void. It's not going to count for shit. It says, say not ye, there are yet 4 months, And then cometh harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest. And he that reapeth receiveth wages, and gathereth fruit unto life eternal, that both he that soweth and he that reapeth may rejoice together. And herein is that saying true, one soweth and another reapeth. You see, because we entered into other man's labors. You know, you have our elders and apostles, the men that was before them that taught them. You know, we enter into their stead, bringing out this word all across the world. You know, this truth, it doesn't belong to us. We're stewards of this truth. Now let's read in the NLT. This is John 4:34 in the NLT. It says, Then Yahushua explained, My nourishment comes from doing the will of the Most High, who sent me, and from finishing his work. You know the saying, 4 months between planting and harvest. But I say, wake up and look around. The fields are already ripe for harvest. The harvesters are paid good wages, and the fruit they harvest is people brought to eternal life. What joy awaits both the planter and the harvester alike? You know the saying, one plant and another harvest, and it's true. I sent you to harvest where you didn't plant. Others had already done the work, and now you will get to gather the harvest. See? Let's go to Matthew chapter 20. I got to start at the top. Let's keep it in the NLT. This is Matthew chapter 20, verse 1. It says, For the kingdom of heaven is like the landowner who went out early one morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay the normal daily wage and sent them out to work. At 9 o'clock in the morning, he was passing through the marketplace and saw some people standing around doing nothing. So he hired them, telling them he would pay them whatever was right at the end of the day. So they went to work in the vineyard at noon and again at 3 o'clock. He did the same thing. At 5 o'clock that afternoon, he was in town again and saw some more people standing around. He asked them, Why haven't you been working already? They replied, Because no one hired us. The landowner told them, Then go out and join the others in my vineyard. That evening he told the foreman to call the workers in and pay them, beginning with the last workers first. It says, when those hired at 5 o'clock were paid, each received a full day's wage. It says, when those hired first came to get their pay, they assumed they would receive more, but they too were paid a day's wage. It says, when they received their pay, they protested to the owner. Those people worked only 1 hour, and yet you've paid them just as much as you paid us, who worked all day in the scorching heat. He answered one of them, Friend, I haven't been unfair. Didn't you agree to work all day for the usual wage? Take your money and go. I wanted to pay this last worker the same as you. Is it against the law for me to do what I want with my money? Should you be jealous because I am kind to others? So those who are last now will be first then, and those who are first will be last. And you see, this is a parable, like say, for example, we got our elders, say, Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Ramlab, they've been toiling in the faith over 30 years. But you got brothers that just came in this faith, say 5 years, 6 years. In the end, if we all are of the elect, we will all receive, the same wage. being eternal life, our spiritual power, our new bodies, the inheritance of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Even though our elders been toiling, much longer than we have, we all will receive the same reward. Now let's go to 2 Timothy. Again, this is work that we're doing. You think we just out there on the highways and the byways in the cold just because we just playing? This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7. It says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race, and I have remained faithful. This is the Apostle Paul. It says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race, and I have remained faithful. And now the prize awaits me, the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will give me on the day of his return. And the prize is not just for me, but for all who eagerly look forward to his appearing. You see? So we got to endure in this thing. We got to fight the good fight of faith. Again, this isn't a race. This is a marathon. We in this thing for the long haul. And when Yahweh Shai cracks the skies and comes back to destroy Babylon, which is America, he's going to come for his elect and beam them up in them chariots, the so-called UFOs, and that's when we know the job has been done. Death has been swallowed up in victory. I'm going to end it here. Let's go to Matthew 24 and 13. Yeah, I'm going to just read this, get to the point. This is Matthew 24 and 13. It says, but the ones who endure to the end will be saved. So again, fight the good fight of faith, endure to the end. If you're feeling weak in the spirit, pray to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai for more strength, because we don't got much longer here. These prophecies are cracking off. We got a lot of things going on in the news, so it's looking real promising, brothers and sincere sisters. So, Lord's will, this lesson was edifying. Till the next time, Shalom.